What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to another episode of the Smark Moment Smack Talk podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango. Joining me, as always, are Callum Wiggins.
S tier.
And Robert DeFelice.
D tier.
Aren't we honest? No, I'm just kidding. We are continuing our tier lists that we do for our annual roster breakdowns. And if you have not checked out the previous video or the previous podcast, depending on where you're listening to us, that was the AEW women's roster and the ROH women's roster. We combined those two together, had some crossover between those, talked about who ranks from the S to the F tiers. We're going to continue the same thing here with the AEW and the ROH men's roster. Of course, we will have the WWE men's and women's and the NXT rosters on those separate videos and podcasts, so tune into those as well if you are a fan of not just the AEW side of things, but this is pretty self-explanatory in a lot of different ways, and especially if you've checked out previous editions, then you know exactly how it goes. If you don't, I don't honestly think that we need to explain too much more than we've already done. Go back and check out the other ones, or figure it out. It's context clues. I don't think we need to do a 20-minute explanation of this, but I do want to remind everybody, just in case they forget about it, to make sure that you hit the like button on this video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube video if you are, or the YouTube channel, I should say. If you are not, then obviously click on that. If you want to help us spread the word about this podcast, click the little share button that's on there. It's a really quick way for you to just pass that around on some other social media platform. You've got the monetary options that you can help us out with as well. If you have the spare change and you want to help us keep the lights on here, one of the most easiest ways to do that is to click on the little thanks button. It's a like tip jar essentially. But if you want to have a more recurring thing, then you can click on the join button on YouTube or the Patreon. Go over to patreon.com/smarkoutmoment. They're exactly the same. If you want to be a part of the Darkcast tier and get access to those podcasts, obviously then sign up for that tier. If you want to be like Marco, which Marco is awesome for doing this and has done it in the past as well, and some others have done some wide variety of different topics, but there's the Pick Your Poison tier where you can either request something that we could do on the podcast or an editorial or whatever it might be. The whole point is that you're kind of driving the narrative on that one. So if there is something we haven't done that you want to make sure that we do, that's the best way of doing it. But even $1 a month is greatly appreciated. And also, if you want to pick up some merchandise to show your support and, you know, wear a t-shirt out to a pro wrestling event or slap a sticker on your all over your town and the different like phone poles and stuff that are out there, then go ahead and do that. Redbubble and TeePublic, where you can pick those up. So I think that that's enough of an explanation here for us to just get started. So let me switch over my screen so that people can see what we are working with over on the tier list we've got. As I said before, this is the AEW and ROH men's division, and we've got good chunk of names here. 140 is what I came up with, but I might be missing somebody. And, you know, of course, if that is the case, then we'll add them in there as we go along. But I think that this is probably everybody that's a regular on either of those two shows. Again, if in particular, if I'm missing somebody on ROH, then that's not surprising. Our tiers are exactly the same as what they've been before. Everything from the GOATs of the S tier to the drizzling shits in the F tier, and then the no opinion section for the ones that we just haven't seen enough of, or we really don't know what's going on with them right now because of their injury status or whatever it might be. Anyway, I just want to get started. You want to toss out those no opinions? You want to set the tone for any of these tiers? You want to go for a particular person?
Set the tone with an S tier, and that's Jon Moxley.
I would agree to that.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Jon Moxley is Mr. AEW.
And again, for everybody who doesn't know, we will do that 2-vote type of majority deal vote here. If we have all three, then obviously that's, you know, unanimous. But if two people say S tier, one person says A tier, then it's going in S tier. And, you know, we figure out the balance between them. I would also throw out, if we're doing some S tier ones, I would obviously put MJF in that category. I don't think we're going to have much debate on that one, right?
No, I don't believe so. He does have F in his name, though.
That is true.
We don't have an M tier or a J tier. Not quite yet. Let's see. Let's try to get somebody in the middle of the road, so that way we can kind of balance out as we go along with some of the other ones. Who's a textbook, straight down the middle type of person for you guys?
Let's have a look. I'm thinking Brian Cage.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good one to put in there. Where is Brian?
Which is higher than what I've previously given him in the past. He's growing on me in recent times.
What did we give him last year? Brian Cage this is not in order. We gave him
D
tier. So look at that. I mean, where we are. There we are. I've always thought he has more potential than what he's tapped into. But he's doing some good stuff.
There's one that, as I'm looking, you need to just remove from this list completely because he doesn't work there. And that's Frankie Kazarian.
Kazarian's on this list? I made this a little while ago. All right, Kazarian, gone from there. I don't still have CM Punk on this, do I? No. Okay. No. There are a couple other C tier type names that came into my mind when we were trying to think of that right then. You guys might agree, might disagree. Jalistico and God, who was the other one that just I'm blanking on the other one at the top of my head.
Mandar?
No, I like Commander a little bit better. And then again, he might be like C plus versus C or C minus.
I think Commander's C probably. He doesn't win a lot, so I wouldn't. But he's a good hand to have around. He's there to lose most of the time, but he's fun.
Yeah, same thing I would say about Jalistico.
Yeah, they're just like they're not standing out to me quite yet, but they're fun. You know, they bounce around, and they do some good stuff, so I like them.
Well, we're at it. Write down the name of Gravity. Same thing.
Gravity's not on here?
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm missing Gravity.
But he's lower down.
Where you think of D tier?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I haven't seen any.
He's not as polished as the others.
I've only seen one match of Gravity,
but he is fun.
Oh yeah, all these luchadors are fun, but yeah.
You know,
others.
I just realized I forgot Gravity. Does that mean that I'm Pac?
No, but if you want to rank him, I think he's always going to be at least no lower than a B.
I know it's he's the one that Gravity forgot, not that he forgot Gravity. It's the other way around. You're thinking B for Pac? I'd be down for that.
It's hard because like he's
in this range.
Kind of toes. Oh no, he toes between the A and B. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, if he was around more, I'd say A.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go so far as A, but I'd be down for B.
Yeah, we can go B then.
Because I do think that there's a gap between here and here that won't transition over to Pac.
We'll put an A in to fit there. Then let's put out Orange Cassidy as an A then.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You know, he is like an A++ to me.
He's close to an S. We might reconvene and move him.
We have put him in an S in the past, but as his work has gotten better and we can rank him more seriously, I think he's in A. He was in an S. He was in the first
A last year.
In the first one we did, he was an S.
That's the even.
I'd keep him in the A tier.
We could potentially move him, but
Sammy Guevara. I'm thinking B. What do you guys think?
I would go A.
B. I wouldn't put him in any higher than Pac. But you know, he's got a good ceiling. But right now he's B.
Let's see if we can figure out a drizzling shits.
Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah, Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. He hasn't done anything really.
He's gone, but I think
is he gone? I really hate how
he isn't gone. He's still in.
He's still on the roster page. Really?
Yeah, he's still with the roster. He hasn't said that he's gone, or they haven't done any announcement that he's left. So
these companies really need to start like just announcing this shit.
I am.
Parker
Boudreaux is on the roster page, so I'm gonna say right now F.
I can also. I'd also add. Again, your mileage may vary, but Zach Clayton is a drizzling shits one to me as well.
I was gonna put him no higher than B, but what do you think, Tony?
I don't think I've seen a single match of his.
He might actually be.
He's a no opinion for me.
For an E.
I think he's worse than that.
All right,
he's just like a reality show guy that's coming to wrestling. Like
Zach Clayton, AEW. I don't even think I know who he is. That's a basketball player. Okay,
it's not him. It's the white guy.
So this guy, I have no idea who this guy is. Sorry,
he had one match on I think he had one match on Rampage for like the TNT title or something, and then other than that, he's done nothing.
Huh. All right, well, I'm a no opinion.
All right, so if Colin wants to put on F, I can live with that.
I'd be fine putting in there. Yeah.
Okay.
If we're looking for an E, just to make sure there's people on each one so far.
Look, all due respect to them, I think this is solidly where the Butcher and the Blade sit, isn't it?
They're better than that.
They're better than that.
But I'd be down for E on them.
But if we're looking at the fact that in parentheses it says jobber status, is that not the only?
Yeah, but I think there are teams that are worse level than that. There are tag teams that I would put below them on the pecking order, mainly Serpentico
and Luther. So yeah, Butcher and Blade in D, and then Spanish Announce Project in E.
They wouldn't. Serpentico and Luther wouldn't be F.
No, they're better.
No, they're not. They're good at what they do.
Serpentico's actually getting wins on Ring of Honor, so
really.
Yeah,
good for him.
He's teaming with he's not actually teaming with Luther. He's teaming with Angelico in.
That's the other part of the.
Well, then, would you guys be down for Luther in F and Serpentico and Angelico in E?
Oh yeah,
Luther. I mean, like, I wouldn't call him the drizzling shit. He's a.
I've never thought that Luther was anything worth watching in the ring, or character-wise.
Yeah, I'd say that he's not that. He hasn't done anything really great in AEW, and he's certainly not someone that you'd consider pushing or doing anything with. Because
where's Mel?
It's quite old.
For some reason, I think of Luther, I think of Mel.
But yeah, we could put Butcher and Blade in D.
Where's Butcher and Blade? Are they under the or no? They're under the B's. Or actually, it is Butcher. There we go.
Butch.
D tier for those. I'm trying to think about if there's any.
Bronson and Boulder.
Yeah, I could go with that with Bronson and Boulder.
Saying D
tier 1, they're kind of that level, yeah.
I haven't seen them in the past, year maybe.
Aren't they just?
They just wrestled the tag team titles in Collision.
Dude.
I didn't watch this episode of Collision.
You're gonna hear that a few more times.
Yeah. Yeah, Collision's one of those blind spots for me. It's a lot of times I'm just like,
is an E.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he's still even on the roster. Honestly,
his name's Anderson.
I would have thought that they might have gotten rid of him by now. I hate to put him in this because he was somebody that I thought had a lot more potential, and it just hasn't quite happened yet. Maybe it's been happening in ROH, and I'm not aware of it. But I would go Griff Garrison into the D tier.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, he isn't being pushed heavily. Well, he's being moved into that Maria Kanellis faction.
While we're at it, Cole Carter also D.
No, he's worse than that E.
Really?
Yeah, he's bland as hell. I think that he'll be the first week drop.
He's funny.
It's funny because he's hitting on Maria Kanellis, and that's
he wears a shirt that says "I love hot moms." I think that's funny. Like,
but he can't wrestle. That's the problem. He's not a very good wrestler.
He can wrestle worth 2 dimes.
So it's a D and an E vote.
I'm sticking. I'd stick with E personally.
You're the tiebreaker, and I know you have no opinion. So decide where you want to put him.
I'm not too sure if he. What's the difference between what he was when he was in NXT? Is he any better or is it any worse?
Well, he's on.
I never watched him in NXT, so I don't know.
You see, this is where we're at.
That's where you have to come in with the tiebreaker of that, and let me know. Is he better or worse?
You probably put in A.
Okay, poor Cole Carter. Let's get another S or an A tier. Definitely not.
Definitely not George Joel, but that.
Well, if you mention it, he's a no opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
No opinions.
Yeah, no opinion.
A's and S's. Do the big one. So Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are S tiers.
Yeah, obviously.
I think we could move over. I'm not putting them on the E tier, by the way. I'm just moving these people over. Some of these big names. To kind of get a sense of some of these really big talents that are going to be in that higher range. Let's move.
Jericho, you gotta move him.
Where's Chris Jericho? Christian Cage, Chris Jericho. Daniel Garcia is a pretty big name.
Take Takeshita.
Takeshita's pretty big name.
Yeah, Howard and Wheeler, both there.
Kingston.
And then FTR.
Mojo.
Mojo.
We're gonna kind of speed run a little bit of some of these names because we know that we are fans of a lot of these people. So it's like, all right, why
the Jacksons, Matt,
Matt and Nick.
Kenny.
Let's see. Do I have Kenny on there? I think I have Kenny in there.
Yeah, you already took Kenny. I think that's Dax and Cash. Yes.
Cash Wheeler and Dax. Oh, Darby Allin's another big name too. All right, so
let's.
There'll be a few other ones as well.
I think that's good.
We'll work our way through this one. All right, so
Omega and the Young Bucks are S tier.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jacksons, move them over. Jackson 2.
I'd put Hanger in A.
Yeah, I'd lean more towards A than S for him.
It depends. Are we going by what? If he's currently listed, yeah, he's currently more in an A.
Yeah, I'm going
range,
as we're ranking him right now. I'm going A.
I'd go Claudio A.
Claudio A.
Claudio.
Danielson S.
Danielson S. I would go with that.
Adam Cole SA. What about you?
I'd go A.
Yeah, I think he's one off winning the world title from going into the S, but we'll see how that goes.
Takeshita's very high A.
He's solid A, yeah. Just get Takeshita right now.
I'd go like in that A minus type range, but I'd go for an A.
Kenny Omega on pay-per-view in a singles match. Rated.
But like, I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say a B. I'd go in that A range for sure.
Christian's an A. You might even be S.
Yeah, I mean the dad stuff is hilarious, but yeah, he's an A. I'd go A for Jericho.
I'm gonna say S.
You got an A and an S. Where do you go, Callum?
I think right now you need to be putting him in an A, really, because like at this point he's still like obviously one of the biggest names they have, but you shouldn't be booking him like an S guy.
I would say actually every single person that's here would go in an A for me.
Not Jack Perry.
Jack Perry's a high B.
I could see that. Yeah. All right.
He's kind of lost it.
Garcia's
actually Garcia. I'd potentially put Garcia in the B tier, but the rest of these I'd go A's.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'd think all the rest of them.
FTR is an S. As a unit,
potential.
As a unit, they're an S.
If we end up adjusting that, we might end up moving them up. I think I'd feel more comfortable in the A tier for them right now.
All the rest of them, they're solid A's.
Yeah, I mean, they've all been doing some good stuff for quite a while too, so it's not even like that's brand new.
I think just to add maybe a potential couple more into it, just for the discussion of potential A1s, and I don't know if these would be just the only other ones, but I'd say Jay White.
There's Jay White, Juice Robinson. I think that the Acclaimed are worth kind of A, B or type range.
I'd say a B for Acclaimed probably. They're very like popular names, but probably go with that.
Billy
Not
Gunn, Billy. Where is Max Caster up here? I'd go. I think I'd go because I know that Jay White's better than what I've seen some of the stuff that he's done so far. He hasn't felt like as big of a deal as I think he should be. I'd be willing to put him in A and put Robinson in B.
Oh, definitely, yeah. But Robinson's a step below, but definitely is a solid B for Robinson. I'd put all the Acclaimed into... I'd put those two into B, and I'd put Billy into C, probably.
I can see that, yeah.
Just to,
because even though I like the Acclaimed, I don't quite put them in like that sort of main event type status or whatever. And
the other one I was considering for A was Swerve Strickland.
I'd go B for Swerve.
You might be on the very high end of B.
Just like Sammy Guevara level, Jack Perry level, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah,
to me, Swerve's in that range.
Yeah, maybe.
For anybody's wondering why Rob has not chimed in, he is stepping away for a minute, but I'm sure he'll be able to adjust if he sees anything that's off.
Other Bs, again, if we're just looking at
as far as Bs go, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I'd go the Guns.
To be honest, they're definitely moving up there. Maybe on the low side of B, but probably B. I mean, they're former world champions, so maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be kind of comfortable putting them there. I'd add all members of the House of Black into B, I think, at this point.
I'm down for that. I think that they are slightly above average for that. B tier is, for anybody who's on the podcast only side of it, B tier is above average. C tier is middle of the road. So Brody goes in there as well. Malachi Black goes in there as well. I'd go B for Luchasaurus.
Yep, I'd say so. I'd say that for both members of both Penta and Phoenix. Probably going to be at the moment.
I'm down for them being in B tier, yeah. We've seen better of them. We've seen worse of them on their own. In the past, they were like, main event type guys. But when you put them in a tag team, they do tend to, even though they do really good work as a tag team, they do tend to kind of not seem like as big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to try to clean this up a little bit while we're doing this.
I'd say Sting is also a B.
Sting is one of those ones that's really tough for me because I'm like, I know Sting is great and he's been great in the past. The stuff he does isn't particularly great these days, but then again, that's because he's like 60, so I can't fault him for that. You know what I mean?
I'd say it's like not great. Like it's just an old man diving off of things, but it's still it's entertaining.
Yeah. I'd be fine with putting him in B.
He's still pushed like a star.
Yeah.
And he's still got that name value. He's like lower than Jericho in that level, but like you wouldn't give him the world title, but you'd still you wouldn't say no to a tag title run probably.
And you put him out for some big matches here and there. Yeah. Let's get some low end ones. I mean, we have a lot of low end ones left now that we've put a big chunk of this roster out there.
So some ones that are just like fitting into the middle of the road. So I'd probably go with Action Andre. I think it's pretty middle of the road.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah. I honestly, I hate to say it, but I think Keith Lee.
Oh yeah, at the moment, yeah. I think he's I think that at the moment he's just very much treading water. I don't think he.
Yeah.
But I think that's like obviously the company isn't doing a great job booking him, but I think there's something about it just make you feel like it's partly on him as well.
It sucks because I mean, if you go back on previous years of the podcast, I was like, push this guy to a world title, have him beat Brock at Mania, all this stuff, and it's like
I think it's just the health thing. I think that's like screwed him up quite a bit.
It really did.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like his age is helping him for like the political side of it. I'd go B tier for Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh yeah, Hobbs definitely is a B tier. Miro as well, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd put Miro in there. I'd go middle of the road for who did I just see? Crap, there's somebody around there. Middle of the road for Ortiz.
Yeah, I'd put Santana in that as well at the moment. Because if they are going to insist on being singles guys, they are C tier.
Yeah, they are not going to just suddenly become the new world champions.
If they become a tag team again, they move up to B tier. But if they're going to insist they're both two singles guys, then they're C tier. I think that's probably even the ceiling for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, and maybe that's something that they need to kind of wake up to a little bit. Or at least one of them does. I don't know.
Oh, Hook's B.
Oh,
I think
we
Hook's
didn't do Hook
slightly
yet.
higher.
Yeah,
Hook's slightly higher than the average. He's still obviously green, but he's shown enough to be a B level one.
Yeah, I'd go B for that. I thought we already took care of Hook. Now we're starting to get into the ones who are going to be a little bit mean.
I think both Hardys are C. now.
I'd honestly I'd go D.
Well, it's the name value. The name value's enough, isn't it?
Name value does put them in the middle of the road.
It's like
two
Sting
votes
can
for
have
that.
Sting has a similar standard of match as them, but obviously his is more fun. They're actually trying to have matches, and it's just not good enough. They obviously by their ring standard, they are definitely below average now. But the fact that they're the Hardys benefits them.
For Kyle O'Reilly, I'd go no opinion. He's just been gone for so long.
Yeah. All year.
Are there any other? I mean, there are some people on here that are no opinions for me, but what about for you guys? Because you guys do tend to watch more Ring of Honor.
I mean, the vast majority of them I know of, or
Paul White is no opinion. He's on the roster, but he's not really in the ring.
I'd go no opinion. I don't know enough about a lot of the Ring of Honor guys that haven't been popping up in WWE or in AEW. So like Jake something, I don't know anything about him. He's no opinion.
He's in Impact.
He's in Impact. Yeah, what's he doing? Yeah, he's not. He doesn't belong in it.
When I had made this list before earlier,
did he do one match
earlier in the year, he was like, I guess on like SmackDown Hotel or something. If he's not even a part of that, then we'll get rid of him.
Bononi is like, I can put him in E just based on what I know about him, but I don't even know if he's wrestled much this year.
All those guys that were part of like the Pretty Peter Avalon type stuff, to me, they're all
except for JD
E
Drake,
or F.
Except for JD Drake, who, along with Anthony Henry, is probably at least a D, if not a C.
No, I'd say that. You're putting them on the same standing as the Butcher and the Blade.
Yes. Are you putting them higher or lower?
It's these guys, right? I'm not missing any of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't. No. I'd put them potentially lower because they're.
No, I mean like it sucks because I'll ask you this question on Monday after they wrestle FTR on Saturday.
I'm sure they'll have a good match, but let's say you watch the same amount of Ring of Honor as me. I think they've won one match in the last 3 months.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Like they are, as I say, they're
maybe they're high E, low D then.
Yeah, so I'd say all of them would fit into A.
Probably going to E, yeah.
Bunch of E's.
Yeah.
We do still have some names that are on the bigger side.
Mark Quinn, no opinion.
He hasn't wrestled yet in ages, hasn't he? So.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isaiah Cassidy at this point, though, I'm not super high on.
No, where are the Hardys? Where we put the Hardys? He's probably right there.
I'd go D.
I'd go C.
I'd put him with like that Butcher and the Blade and Griff Garrison range.
I'd say.
I'd put him on par with Andretti.
And Andretti doesn't do that moan thing.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, he's less over.
I'm fine to put him on a D level.
All right.
I think
Slim J is an E.
Yeah, Slim J. Yeah.
Lee Johnson is an E.
I'm down for that.
Moriarty is a D.
No, Moriarty. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he probably is a D at the moment.
At the moment, at least.
Leon Ruffin,
E.
E, yeah.
Yeah.
Silas Young would put as a D, probably. He's still competent enough in the ring. He doesn't win very often, but.
E.
Do I don't have Vincent on here, do I?
Oh, no.
Yeah, Dutch either.
Yeah, we have to have Vincent and Dutch onto it.
And I'm not too familiar with them, so
they're both C's, I think.
Yeah, I mean
Vincent and Dutch.
They're both being
Stu
pushed
in there with
enough. I mean, they just beat the Hardys, so they're being pushed at the very least.
Stu Grayson in there. Silas Young, I don't know anything really about.
D.
Yeah, D. I think he's still a solid enough hand. I'll put all members of Dark Order in C as well. I think.
Yeah, I think that works. Reynolds. And Evoluno and John Silver.
Follow me here when I say Divari.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think Divari's good enough to beat that.
All right, Divari for D.
So
Parker and Menard C.
I like them. I like them a lot, but yeah, probably our middle of the road thing.
They're fun, but I don't know if I'd put them on the same range.
Nah, not that one. I'd put again, they haven't been presented like this so far, but just because of what I know they can be, I think Aussie Open would be a B tier one team.
I'm not all that impressed by them. I would go C.
I think.
To me, they're like, you can pick any two guys that are decent enough in the ring, and I wouldn't be able to tell you anything different from them.
I think C right now, but they'll be B, maybe even A next year as long as they're.
Mark Davis. We do have a big name in Mark Briscoe here.
You go B, I think.
I think he's B.
He'd be a TV champion soon, or you'd probably be TV champion in like Ring of Honor and stuff. So when he comes back.
Let's see. We should probably add some more to that E and F tier. I'm thinking. Maybe not necessarily too much more. We actually probably should add some more to the D tier more than anything else.
Well, it's a D tier. I would say Aaron Solo.
I'd go E.
Actually, yeah, he's probably worse than that. Yeah, I'd go.
D is a QT Marshall.
I'd go AR Fox D.
He's C now. I think he's C now. I think he's been exposed.
I think he would have been C if he did the fucking casket match. He didn't.
That. What you think it would have been D before that? I think he's on the same level as Akshay Andretti, right?
That's true too.
Yeah.
Where did we put Nick Wayne? Did we do Nick Wayne yet?
Nick Wayne is over here.
C at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. C makes sense to me.
QT Marshall could be D.
QT Marshall's a good D option. Yeah.
Preston Vance
more like D Marshall, huh? Got him.
Preston Vance can join him there. He's
definitely the odd D tier.
Yeah, he's definitely the odd one out in that Ingobernales faction.
What are you thinking, Rob?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, you haven't got Johnny TV on this one.
Oh, am I missing him?
Okay, cool. D.
John Morrison.
Has he been around recently enough?
My God, yeah. Okay, I think it's worth noting at this point because every time we do an AEW thing, it becomes more and more clear how little AEW you're actually checking out. Yeah, I'd say, you know what? I can't put him lower than the Hardys. I think he can still go. He's a C.
If he's doing anything like what he used to do, I would put him in C.
He's doing it, but much slower and less impressively.
And he's with QTV, so there's only so much.
Actually, we have to add RVD to this list as well.
Oh yeah, he is gonna fight again this Saturday, isn't he?
Yeah.
You think that's worth actually having on the roster thing, not just a random bonus match?
They're bringing him back for a reason. They didn't need to bring him back.
Yeah.
So what are you guys thinking for that? C?
Oh yes, C definitely for RVD.
He can still go.
He can still go. Yeah. Oh, and also just to add even more to it, Shibata as well is definitely an AEW guy,
a regular
or Ring of Honor guy at the very least.
I'd put him in.
I'm surprised he's not. There's some of these names I thought had on here that I could have sworn could have sworn I had on like maybe a different roster tier list or something. I don't know.
No, but you do have Eli Isom, who at best is an E, at most no opinion.
Total no opinion for me.
I'm not super familiar with him. Yeah. So
no idea who he really
Ethan
is.
Page.
I'd go
so
D.
We're probably gonna put him on a C, but I think judging based on potential, I'd put him in D.
Yeah, I'd go D.
Yeah, I don't think he's worked in AEW.
He's not living up to what he could have done. All right, can we get a big one in? Can we talk about Wardlow?
Man, what a tier that goes to the potential of an S tier that goes all the way down to
maybe
hasn't been doing shit.
Nah, D's harsh.
D is harsh, given the other people in here. But if it was just supposed to be a marker of like not living up to your potential below par, I think he'd fit. But I'll say C.
That's a C vote, and
I'd still put him on the lower end of B.
I'd be cool with that, just because it's like, man,
He hasn't dropped that far. He's dropped. He's definitely dropped significantly, but he's not unsalvageable.
He's been gone for
a
good amount of time too. So that's another thing.
Whatever it is.
I don't know if this is too mean.
Why is Roderick Strong an S as this character?
Is this too mean to say that D tier option Sean Spears?
I think that's fine now. He's more like a
He
on
doesn't
and off character now.
Yeah.
I like him, but man, he's another person that was like, you came in and you were kind of a big deal with the whole Cody thing, and then they just went.
My God, he was like co-main, semi-main.
Yeah, like he had like top heel type potential, and then they were just like, we're done with it.
He's another one who kind of like AEW just grew too fast for him.
Mm-hmm.
In the D side, we can also add in Satnam Singh and probably Sonjay as well. I mean, Sonjay, I don't even know.
Jeff Jarrett is a C.
Oh, Jeff and Jay are C's, definitely. But like Satnam and Sonjay are lower down.
How crazy is it that you would be like Jeff Jarrett on par with all of these names still?
He wrestles better than the Hardys.
I would potentially put Jeff Jarrett in B and put Jay Lethal in C, and then Satnam Singh and Sanjay in D.
No, because that's when my actual proclivity going and say you can't push.
You can't
push Jeff Jarrett on the same level as like Sammy Guevara. Those two you don't like now. Danhausen's D now.
You guys know that I'm not the biggest fan of the Danhausen character. I would easily put him in E.
Actually, in my opinion, he's been injured for nearly a year, hasn't he? So
I'd go E. You got a no opinion vote.
I wouldn't go E. I'd probably go no opinion.
You got saved.
No opinion / injured.
He might come back and just kill everybody. Who knows?
D tier for
Nick Camarado.
I mean, I haven't seen what he's been doing recently, but before he was in that.
He's just waiting for someone to pick him up and use him as a bodyguard.
How's it not happened yet? Do you think a D too?
Yeah, D is fine. Getting all the Northeast guys in D. You got the Bronson and the
all the people that I've worked with.
You're a solid D.
Yeah, that's what my wife says. It's too easy of a joke. Too easy of a joke. I had to take advantage of it.
Tony Deppen, I wouldn't put him on this list, but he's like a... What do you think, Callum?
What did you say? You disappeared. You said he's like a... What do you think?
Because I was going to say something, but then I'm like, I haven't seen enough of him in ROH.
He's a no opinion for me.
Yeah, I'd say no opinion.
And we are probably going to have to go through at some point the roster tier list that's on, or the roster list that's on smarkoutmoment.com, because you guys can fill me in on some people that maybe I'm missing out on, and some people that haven't been around long enough to
do your own work.
You guys can help. The tag team list too is always like, my God, is this person in the Mogul embassy or not the embassy? And this was, like that kind of thing.
Michael Nakazawa is an E.
Yep.
When's the last time have we seen him?
Actually, yeah, never. But like, we know he's bad. So
we know, like he's the elite computer guy. Isn't he?
Brandon Cutler in that same range too.
E. Yeah.
D probably Brandon Cutler. He's better than
Cutler's fun, but I mean, I know be fine with him.
Wherever you put Cutler, put Cabana, because they're teaming now. For some reason.
Down for him being in the D tier. Honestly, I'd put Chuck Taylor in the D plus C range.
I mean, they just won Stadium Stampede.
I'd say best friends are both B level.
Best friends are low B or high C.
I'd go more C. So where we go ultimately with them?
Yeah, looking at the names in C, they gotta go B.
That's
they're better tactic than most of the other ones, yeah.
B vote for you two, Callum.
Yep, that's it.
All right. I like them. It's just Chuck Taylor to me, I think, is always
Gogo's
lower.
No opinion.
He's been away long enough that I have no opinion about him right now. Yeah.
Dustin is a D.
A D for Dustin.
See, he's still competent.
Yeah,
Like-
okay.
like,
All right.
Does he work
D
better
is
than the Hardy
becoming the
still?
old man tier. I like it. I respect it.
That's he's ultimately going to be the one that we have the most people for anyway,
Yeah.
just for middle of the road type stuff.
Top flight.
Yeah, I'd say both of them are C now,
Yeah.
just because like they're just injured too often to move any further up or down. Really.
Jake Hager D.
The Tates in that E range.
Oh yeah,
Big
the
Dalton
boys.
Castle
The boys.
and put
Yeah,
him
so.
in.
I put them. Yeah, put them E, but Dalton Castle C.
I'd go D.
Yeah.
No, he's
Two C votes.
he's one of the top names in Ring of Honor. He's definitely C.
Kip Sabian.
D.
Yeah, I'd say D.
He's on par.
He's on the same level as Butcher and Blade. Yeah, he's
Yes.
there now. I
What
put
about
Daniels there
Seidel?
as well. I put Daniels and Seidel probably in.
D's here.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, Seidel can still do a lot of stuff, but they're not going to use him anymore. So
Cheeseburger, more like Easeburger. Am I right?
That sounds like the simplest thing you could possibly order. Like, it's very easy to go down. Is that Easeburger?
yeah, I'd say he's an E probably.
Let's just sort this range, make that a little bit better for me too. Cheeseburger. Going in E. What about Khan and where is he on here?
Where's Brian Cage?
Brian
Yeah,
Cage.
they're
Yeah,
right
in
there,
C,
right? Brian Cage.
I'd put him in C. Both of them in Toa Leona.
There you have the range there.
Put Captain Sean Dean in D, and then write down the name of Carly Bravo underneath them.
Oh, they would be on the same level though, would they?
I mean, they're a tag team, and I don't see them do anything outside of each other.
I haven't seen much of Harley Bravo. I wouldn't go out of all these people. Well, let's do it this way. Anybody on this list you think is a B?
Yes.
Andrade, yeah.
And honestly, Bandito.
I need as a potential high one as well. Big Bill, I'd say, is potential.
And Big Bill as well, yep.
Other ones would be, I mean, Lance Archer hasn't been around enough, so he's probably C now. But Roddy's a B at the very least.
Yeah, Roddy.
And then maybe Roosh, but again, he hasn't been around very much often. But like we know how good he can be.
I'd be okay with these guys going in B.
Yeah, I think they're all good choices for B.
I would go if we're trying to figure out who would be a C. I would go Lance Archer in that C.
Yeah, right now, yeah. I'd say
D for Tony Nese.
Yeah, D for Tony Nese. I put both the Kingdom on C. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
What about you, Rob?
He doesn't know. We'll put it in C. I think they're fine enough, yeah. But Hager, I think's D now.
I'd be willing to put him in D. Yeah, he mostly just doesn't do anything anymore. So,
Josh Woods, I'd say D is. Oh, Scorpio, I'd say D as well. Actually,
Scorpio.
I think the injuries have caught up with him, and I just don't see much in him anymore.
He doesn't have any pizzazz to him anymore. It seems.
No. And then
they just reached a point where they were like, "All right, you're a good hand now," and that's about it.
Out of the remaining ones, I think Josh Woods is D. He's doing enough good stuff in Ring of Honor that he's not like that low down now. He's on the same level as Tony Nese.
Yeah.
Christian is decent, but I don't know if that's enough. Shane Taylor, I think, is at the D range, probably more the higher end of D.
I'd go D for Blake Christian.
Yeah, I go D for Shane Taylor on the higher end of D, and then E for Rhett Titus.
I haven't seen much of Rhett Titus.
I agree with everything that you guys just did, except I'd move Roderick Strong to A, but I know I'm biased.
But we got a pretty solid stratification going on here. Look at that.
Yeah.
Like this is, there's only 3 people off on that. This is you know,
Yeah, we're always
relatively
going to
speaking.
less than the absolute worst ones because we're not that mean.
Yeah.
And those three are pretty much like the worst of the worst in AEW right now.
And I don't know if I'm missing anybody else. The reason I have these in this color, by the way, for anybody that's wondering, is to try to remember later on to go back and put them on the other tier list or the other roster list, because I think I'm missing them on there.
There's probably people that appeared like every now and again in Ring of Honor, but nothing that I think needs to be necessarily written down here. Actually,
should do that for Carly Bravo. What else were the other names that we added in here that I was forgetting?
Shibata.
Shibata, Johnny TV, Rob Van Dam, Carly Bravo.
Vincent and Dutch.
Vincent
and Dutch. That's true. I was like, I know that there was at least one other one. Vincent and Dutch. The Dutch. And I think that's it. Oh, Gravity is another one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that covers all those people. I don't think anyone else
Good
on
job,
here was.
I like this.
Okay, yeah, that's a solid breakdown of those, and obviously that's our opinions. But if you have disagreeing opinions, or if you just want to completely be like, yeah, 100% exactly how I would have done it, let us know in the comments below. What were you about to say?
I said, if you have a different opinion, you're wrong. It's okay.
So we, of course, did the AEW women's division and talked about that before, and now we're done on all the AEW side of it. Go back and check out the women's division one if you haven't checked that out already, and stay tuned for the WWE and NXT men's and women's division videos or podcasts if you're listening on Spotify or Amazon Music or any of those other kind of avenues. And not only should you be telling us what you think about these roster rankings and everything, but any other kind of tier lists that you want us to do in the future. You could always just drop a comment below, tell us what you think, and we'll factor that in when we're trying to figure out one of those blank weeks. Maybe if somebody's like got a really cool idea, we might just rush around and do that as quickly as possible, or we just put it on the back burner. Or you could do the pick a poison tier. It's always an option too. But a reminder for everybody to not just follow everything at Smark Out Moment, but also to go over to fanboysanonymous.com. Check out everything that's happening on the Blue brand and the Blueprint Project and all the other kind of things that are on that geek culture spectrum beyond pro wrestling. Go to amangotree.com and find all those accounts for those two brands, as well as just my personal stuff at Tony Mango. And make sure you're following Rob and Callum as well.
Yep, you can follow me everywhere at Dude Felice, and you can check out my work on Fightful and WrestleZone. But here's Callum.
Yep, you can follow me on Twitter at WeekMeister14 and check out the power rankings over on smartcamo.com and the Fantasy League at www.fantasyleague.com to see how our teams are performing.
Very cool, everyone. We are down the 2 of the 4 tier lists that we're doing for this week. We got 2 more coming around, and then we've got actually the other tier lists that are from Marco for the Pick Your Poison tier. So lots of tiers, not just for the tier lists, but the Patreon tiers. And hopefully not any tears coming out your eyeballs. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Unless it's tears of joy. And if that's the case, hit that like button. And we will see you with the next one. Go back and check out the previous ones. Stay tuned for the next ones. And we'll see you then. This has been another Smark Out moment. And we are being counted out.